Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Do you want to speak English more naturally? Do you want to sound more confident? Then try the shadowing technique with me today. Shadow means to follow like a shadow. Here's how it works. First time, listen to the story carefully. Don't repeat, just listen. Second time, pause the video after each sentence. Then repeat after me. Try to copy my pronunciation, my speed, and my emotion. This will help you speak English more smoothly and confidently. Today, I'm going to tell you an interesting story. It's about a young woman who finds a mysterious note. That note leads her on an unexpected adventure. Let's begin the story now. The Mysterious Café Note. My name is Sophie Carter, and this is a story about the strangest day of my life. I am 24 years old. I work as a graphic designer in the city. Every morning I follow the same routine. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I take a quick shower. I get dressed in comfortable clothes. Then I walk to my favorite cafe. The cafe is called Sunrise Coffee. It's a small place on the corner of Park Avenue. The owner, Mr. Thomas, knows my order by heart. 1 cappuccino and a blueberry muffin, he always says with a smile. This Wednesday morning started like every other day. The weather was cold and cloudy. I wore my warm jacket and blue scarf. I walked into the cafe at 8:15. The smell of fresh coffee filled the air. It made me feel happy and awake. "Good morning, Sophie," Mr. Thomas called out. "Good morning," I replied cheerfully. "The usual?" he asked. "Yes, please," I said. I sat at my favorite table near the window. I took out my laptop from my bag. I had work to finish before my meeting. Mr. Thomas brought my coffee and muffin. The cappuccino was hot and perfect. I started drinking it slowly. After a few minutes, I picked up my cup. And then I saw something strange. There was a small white note under my cup. It wasn't there when I sat down. I was sure of that. I picked up the note carefully. My hands were shaking a little. The note had words written in black ink. The handwriting was beautiful but mysterious. I read the note slowly. It said, "The answer you're looking for is in the bookshop across the street. Look for the red book on the 3rd shelf. Go now before noon." My heart started beating faster. What answer? I wasn't looking for any answer. Was this note really for me? Or was it meant for someone else? I looked around the cafe. There were only 5 other people there. An old man reading a newspaper. A young couple holding hands. 2 students studying with headphones on. Nobody was looking at me. Nobody seemed suspicious. I read the note again. Go now before noon. I checked my phone. It was 8:45. I still had 3 hours. But I felt curious, very curious. I finished my coffee quickly. I put the note in my pocket. I packed my laptop in my bag. "Leaving already?" Mr. Thomas asked. "Yes, I just remembered something important," I said. I paid for my breakfast and left. The bookshop across the street was old and charming. It was called Pages of Time. I had walked past it 100 times, but I had never gone inside. The door had a small bell. It rang when I pushed the door open. Inside, the bookshop smelled like old paper. Tall shelves filled every wall. Books were everywhere. On shelves, on tables, even on the floor. An elderly woman sat behind the counter. She had grey hair and round glasses. She was reading a thick book. "Good morning, dear," she said kindly. "Good morning," I replied nervously. I walked deeper into the shop. I was looking for the third shelf. I counted the shelves carefully. 1, 2, 3. The third shelf was in the back corner. It was filled with old books. Some had torn covers. Some looked very valuable. I searched for a red book. There were many books. Blue ones, green ones, brown ones. Finally, I saw it. A small red book with gold letters. The title was The Book of Courage. I pulled it out slowly. Something fell from inside the book. It was another note. This note was yellow and folded. I opened it with trembling fingers. It said, "Well done, Sophie. You are braver than you think. Now go to the park. Sit on the bench near the fountain. Someone is waiting to talk to you." Now I was really confused. Who was writing these notes? How did they know my name? Should I go to the park? Or should I just go home? But my curiosity was too strong. I had to know what this was about. I put the red book back on the shelf. I kept both notes in my pocket. "Did you find what you were looking for?" the old woman asked. "I'm not sure yet," I answered honestly. She smiled mysteriously. "Sometimes we find things we didn't know we needed," she said. I left the bookshop feeling even more confused. The park was only 2 blocks away. I walked there quickly. My mind was full of questions. The park was peaceful and green. A few people were jogging. A mother was playing with her child. I saw the fountain in the center. Water was dancing in the air. Near the fountain was a wooden bench, and someone was sitting there. I walked closer slowly. My heart was pounding. It was a woman around 50 years old. She had kind eyes and a warm smile. She was holding a blue envelope. "Sophie?" she asked when she saw me. "Yes," I said nervously. "How do you know me?" "Please sit down," she said gently. I sat on the bench beside her. "My name is Margaret," she began. "I am a friend of your grandmother." My grandmother had passed away 2 years ago. I missed her every day. "Your grandmother asked me to give you something," Margaret continued. "She wanted me to give it to you when you were ready." "Ready for what?" I asked. "Ready to follow your dreams," Margaret said. She handed me the blue envelope. I opened it carefully. Inside was a letter in my grandmother's handwriting and a check for $10,000. I started crying immediately. The letter said, "My dear Sophie, if you are reading this, it means you had the courage to follow the mysterious notes. That courage is exactly what you need. I know you have always dreamed of starting your own design company, but you have been too afraid to try. This money is my gift to you. Use it to start your business. Follow your dreams, my darling. I will always be proud of you. With all my love, Grandma Rose." I couldn't stop crying. These were tears of joy and sadness mixed together. Margaret put her hand on my shoulder. "Your grandmother loved you very much," she said. "She planned this whole treasure hunt. She wanted it to be special and memorable." "Thank you," I whispered. "Thank you so much." We sat together for a long time. Margaret told me stories about my grandmother. stories I had never heard before. Finally, I stood up to leave. "What will you do now?" Margaret asked. "I'm going to start my company," I said with confidence, "just like Grandma wanted." "She would be so happy," Margaret said, smiling. I walked home that day feeling different. I felt braver. I felt stronger. I felt ready for a new beginning. 2 weeks later, I quit my job. I used the money to start Sophie Designs. I rented a small office. I bought new equipment. I contacted my first clients. It was scary at first, but I remembered my grandmother's words. "You are braver than you think." Now, 6 months later, my business is growing. I have 5 regular clients. I love my work. Every day feels exciting and meaningful. Sometimes I go back to Sunrise Café. I sit at the same table by the window, and I remember that mysterious Wednesday morning, the morning that changed everything. That day taught me something important. Sometimes we need a little push to chase our dreams. Sometimes that push comes from the people who love us, even when they're no longer with us. My grandmother gave me more than money that day. She gave me courage. And that is the most valuable gift of all. Now let's practice together. Now play the story again, slowly, or pause the video after each sentence. Listen carefully to each sentence, then repeat after me. You can use the timestamp in the description to jump into the start of the story. Try to match my pronunciation and rhythm. This is shadowing practice. It will improve your speaking skills naturally. Remember, practice makes perfect. Even 5 minutes a day will make a big difference. Thank you for learning with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next English learning video. Keep practicing, keep improving. Goodbye.